Okay guys, this is going to be a quick video about um, balance, and there's this kind of narrative in self-improvement that if you want to be successful you can't have a balanced life, and in a sense it's right, but I want to get my perspective on it because I think a big part of it just depends on what you mean by success. So what people will often say is they'll criticise people who are less successful than them, because they're being accused by the people who are less successful than them that they're not living a balanced life, and they'll be like, I don't want to live a balanced life, who gives a shit? And fair play. I think there is some truth in that you can't really live a balanced life and be super successful in some fields. Take Hamza for example. He just said there's nothing but record videos. Like, he's outsourced every other part of his life, meals, he doesn't see friends really, all this kind of stuff. He just, while he was getting big, it was just super focused on just, 5 videos a day, just bashing them out. Meanwhile, which is, and that's why he's so successful, right? Because he was able to just dedicate himself purely to doing that. And I've got a lot of respect for that. However, I think it depends what you want out of life. And I think even with Hamza, there's some suggestion that you can't, what I'm getting at is you can't just dedicate everything to one thing. Even Hamza is like, he'll go to the gym instead of, let's say, in the morning and then record the videos in the afternoon. Fair enough. And that's an example of where he's trading off the advantages of going to the gym and over the advantages of recording another video. Now, you could say that the gym helps him with his videos, he's more focused, and I get all of that. But I think there's still a greater trade-off in the time lost there. But the thing I'm getting at is that that's fair enough, It's fair enough to do an hour of exercise instead of working on a business, because it's just so important to be in fantastic shape. And yeah, that's what I'm getting at is, if you want to be ultra successful, you can't really have balance. But it depends how many fields you want to be ultra successful in. And I think life is best lived if you have some kind of wide range of things that you want to be successful in. Like, you should be good with people. That's a skill that you need to train. You should be in good shape. Healthy. That's fit. That's a skill that you need to train. You should have a good job or a successful business or something like that. That's again something you need to train. All these things you could spend all your time just working on that one thing. But most people would agree you need a life where you have some range of these skills as well. You need a bit of everything, and that bit of everything is better than just any one of them to a much greater degree. It's better to have, what I mean by that is it's better to have decent business, but you're in good shape and you got some good friends, rather than you're Bill Gates. You just look like shit and you're a bit of a cunt. Well, I don't really know if Bill Gates is a cunt, but you get my point. So anyway, back to it. It's better to balance all these things. Now, the problem is that a lot of these people who criticize people and be like, oh, you need balance in your life, often they're not saying it because they wouldn't say what I've just said there. They're just kind of saying, it's just kind of a buzzword in their heads, and it's kind of an excuse for them to not be lazy, basically, is what, for them to be lazy, right? They just think, oh, balance is good, but they don't really they're not really living their lives like that, They just say it because they think it's an excuse to be lazy, right? But it doesn't mean it's wrong that you need to spend a little bit of time with friends, just not, winding down. You need to spend a little bit of time, you need to relax a bit. You need to have good sleep. Yeah, what I go and get into, there are things that are going to need to take you away from your main business that will make your business worse, or your main project, whatever it is, will make it worse, no question about it. But you need to sacrifice that because it's worth having it in other areas. Now, don't get carried away. Don't say yes to everything. I think this is the big problem. Life is full of nuance, right? You need to get a balance between that, because on the other hand, you can just say yes to everything. The things that you don't need to, like, oh, I need to. I don't know, like, some friends you maybe just not gonna be able to keep up with, and that's sad, but that's fine. But you need to have a few, right? So you can't be a friend to everyone, but you can't be a friend to no one at the same time. You need to get some kind of balance in the middle, and that's not really. I can't really advise you exactly how to do that, but that's the general principle of it, and yeah, I think that's the best way to live life that I can see. I mean, it makes life a lot harder because makes life a lot harder because you have to kind of juggle other things, and a lot of success is just getting locked in with something. But the problem with living a life that's truly rich is that you get locked in with one thing, and then you need to go into, you need to find some time to wind down. It's really difficult. But like, I don't really see the alternative. I don't see just becoming some guy who has no friends but a fantastic business. I don't see that as being a great idea. And just before I go, I want to say that this doesn't mean you can't have periods of intense focus where you're just locked in for 3 months or however long, and you're not seeing anyone. You're just getting up, just working, and then going to bed. Obviously you need a bit of, that's fine, but for a very short period of time, guys. And likewise, you can have massive periods where you're just having fun with friends. Especially if you're younger, like, you can afford to do that a bit more. That's fine as well. But the vast majority of your life, I think, needs to be balanced by everything else. It needs to have all these factors that you consider important sort of mixed together. And it's unbelievably difficult, guys, but you just got to find a way to do it, basically.